Hello class, let's talk about lesson 11 here for Algebra 1. We have a couple of vocabulary. The first is reciprocal and the multiplicative inverse. They actually are the same thing. So if you have a fraction like 2/3, the reciprocal of 2/3 is 3/2. The multiplicative inverse of 2/3 is 3/2. They mean the same thing. What is the product of 2/3 and 3/2? It's equal to 1, which is called the multiplicative identity. If you had a fraction -4/11, it's reciprocal. It's just the flip. You flip it. 1/4 is the reciprocal of 4. When you have a whole number like 4, you can look at it as 4/1. So when you flip it, you would get the fraction. And remember, you cannot divide by 0. The world blows up. So if a number is multiplied by its reciprocal, which is also its multiplicative inverse, the product is the number 1. Okay, now we're going to talk about order of operations. And I'm going to move over here to my notes. So the order of operations, the way that we can remember that is by this acronym PEMDAS. So P stands for parentheses, E stands for exponents. We're not quite doing these yet. M is for multiply. D is for, do you know it? Divide. And then we add and we subtract last, from left to right. So we don't do all the addition before the subtraction. We just add and subtract from the left to the right. And actually, we don't even have to do that because we have been adding and subtracting all of those signed numbers, right? We can add up all of the positives, add up all of the negatives, and then find their difference at the very end. The same with multiply and divide. These two are tied in importance. So we move from left to right. Let's take a look at a couple of examples here. Example 11.1, PEMDAS. So we have a parentheses, which really just means multiply. So we want to multiply and divide. So I've got a 4.3, that means multiply. I just bring down the 2. I have another multiplication, and here we are. And then do you see that this is a type of problem that we've been working on? Add your positives, which is 14, and your negative, -15, for a difference of -1. Let's look at this. Multiply first. -10 minus 3, write it down. 6 times 3 is 18. Add up your positives, it's just 18. Add up your negatives, -13. 18 minus 13 is 5. Let's look at this. Now remember, the dot means multiply. So the one key here is don't do this first, right? You have to do all the multiplies first. So that's at 12, write it down. This would be a -10. -2 times 5 is -10. This is a +6. Do you see how it's not being multiplied by anything? So it just comes down. These two are multiplied, so that would be -10. Now we add our positives, if you want, 18, and our negatives, -20, to get a difference of -2. So it's really important when you're doing these problems down here to make sure that you correct your work in the back. That will help you catch your mistakes. And of course, when I come back next week on the 25th, if you have any questions, we will be able to go over them then. God bless you.